Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dylan's Dastardly Destructive Podcast, the only podcast in the world that is filmed in front of a live studio audience of 8 clones. Say hi, everybody. Hey, all right, guys, come on. Will everyone please be quiet? For this week's episode of Dylan's Dastardly Destructive Podcast, we wanted to focus on a certain type of destructive interaction that happens as a result of destruction, you ask? I am, of course, talking about the hearing loss that is associated with loud noises. Today, we're going to be comparing a couple different sounds from the real world, measuring their decibel level, then seeing how it might affect the average human ear. For this demonstration, we'll start off with softer sounds and gradually move up in volume. Here is example number 1. Did you hear it? That was the sound of a pin dropping. Measured at an average of only 10 decibels, we perceive this sound as half as loud as a whisper. Okay, here is example number 2. Did you make a guess? Many of you may recognize this sound as that of an average refrigerator. Measured to be only 32 to 47 decibels, this would be equivalent to sitting near a calm river or water stream. Dastardly destructive? As if. Let's keep going higher in sound pressure. Next up is example number 3. That was, of course, the sound of a blender. On the high setting, this device is measured on average to be around 88 decibels. Now we're getting somewhere. Prolonged exposure, meaning exposure for more than 8 hours, will most likely start to cause some hearing damage to any person's ears. But what we're looking for is some real pain. On to example number 4. Now that's what I'm talking about. At an average of 110 decibels, any sound this loud is likely to cause permanent hearing loss after only 1 minute of exposure.
Oh, wow.
That's right, so if you ever operate one of those things, be sure to wear some hearing protection. Now, on to our final example. Ever heard that before? Maybe not. Not unless you were born in Australia during the late 19th century, that is. What you just heard is perhaps the loudest sound ever recorded by humankind. The eruption of the Krakatoa volcano. The noise that this eruption made was so loud that from a certain distance, it isn't even considered a sound, rather than a physical shockwave of air, a shockwave that is estimated to have reached a level of 310 decibels. The sound wave traveled around the world 4 times. At a distance of 40 miles away, eardrums were shattered. At a distance of 100 miles from the blast, the sound was measured at 172 decibels, the same level as a 12-gauge shotgun fired right next to your ear. A frightening thought indeed. So, as we end our dastardly destructive episode on loudness and hearing, I would like to sign off by whispering our outro. Thanks for listening. If you would like more cool facts about the dastardly destructive forces of humans and nature, be sure to save this podcast to whichever platform you prefer. Be sure to protect those ears and give thanks to your local audio engineer. My name is Dylan.